Today we are looking at Mission 9 of the Chapter Approved 2022 book, and it's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, today it's Mission 9, Secure Missing Artefacts. I'm here again with Richard. Hello Richard. Richard of course has his channel linked up in the description below. Check it out if you haven't already. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah.
So let's go table down and have a look at this last mission in the Strike Force missions. Yes. Okay, so once again we've got 5 objectives. There's one in each of our deployment zones. We've got this sort of sandwich triangle deployment. It's a very interesting deployment, and as always with this deployment, I think primarily most armies are going to just swing this around. It's going to end up as a hammer and anvil.
Yeah, it's that the natural shape of it.
Yeah.
It's not Vanguard tactics. With Vanguard tactics, you're possibly more likely to swing around to dawn the war.
Yeah.
But this one, because it's a steeper thing, looks more hammer and anvil, so plays more naturally to hammer and anvil.
Yeah. So 5 objectives. How many objectives do you need for 5 points? 4 points in this one.
It's 1 for 4, 2 for 8, and 3 for 12. There will be. This is the old priority targets. So the primary, the other part of the primary is you get 3 points for holding your priority target, but your opponent chooses it, and you each get to move 2. The attacker moves the first one, the defender moves A and B, and then the attacker moves the remaining. Yeah,
and obviously not the centre one. That stays slap banging in the centre.
It's just the other 4.
Yeah.
And for me, as a Necron player, I'm wanting just to maybe, I think it's 6 inches, and move out like that, see what my opponent does, and then move my next one into.
Ideally, we want to keep them as close together, don't we?
That's roughly what I'd like my side to look like. So that I've got a really nice short triangle, because I know it's going to be about centre of the board again, because it's only 5 missions.
Yeah.
Now I can concentrate my army here and say to my opponent, okay, you come and stop me scoring Stranglehold, which is probably again where I'm looking at. You're guaranteed nearly 15 points off Stranglehold.
And there is a big theme with these missions about the middle, isn't there?
I think what GW learned from the last mission pack was that you could sit in your own table half, score nearly 45 points on secondaries, and win the game without interacting with your opponent. So what they've done is said, that's not what this game's about. You still need to interact, so we're going to force that interaction. Whether they've gone too far the other way is
well, certainly it's great for close combat armies. That's the thing, and that's why we now think potentially that Novok is going to be the new thing for Necron.
Yeah, I think
because you need to get in the middle, and you need to be able to do damage in the middle once you're there.
Yeah, I think it's a trading game. So you're literally chucking a unit out, a cheap unit out, seeing what your opponent chucks, and can move out quite cheaply with another cheap unit, and it's that trading game.
Yeah.
Do I get more for my points than I'm giving up? So to gain 3 points, am I chucking an 85 point unit out there and gaining a 200-point unit in return?
Yeah.
So and that's what you're trying to do all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So in this mission, ideally you want to be trying to hold your 2 objectives, and then obviously just try to get the middle one as much as you can.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't worry too much about my opponent's objectives.
Yeah.
I think it's about your little triangle of 3, and then obviously making sure you've got good secondaries.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if this is me and and you're playing Novok and you're playing the Silent King, Silent King's going there.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's coming, boom, I'll kill whatever you want, I'll take my code of combat, I'm getting that secondary, what are you going to do about it? And I've got Scorpex Wraiths just coming in and clearing anything that tries to.
Yeah, and potentially big units of warriors in Novok is pretty decent actually, with the extra bonuses that you can get.
Yeah, there's plenty of variability in the Novok list, but maybe not. You couldn't have in other lists. I mean, you can go Wraiths and Scorpex and stuff, or you can go warriors and a Ghost Ark and some Wraiths and bits. So there is plenty of variability. It's just about making sure you build your list A to the missions, B to the secondaries, and then lastly something that you enjoy playing and suits the way you play.
Yeah, exactly. And as always, unless you're up against a big horde army, then Purge the Vermin is another great secondary. Because you're almost guaranteed to score those points each
I like
time.
Purge of Vermin.
Yeah.
What I look at is you've got your first two, and then Purge of Vermin I would consider your third choice. And if you're getting 8 points for a third choice secondary, that's good.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking anywhere between 30 to 38 to 45 points is a reasonable score for your secondaries.
Yep.
And it's probably going to win you the game.
Now potentially this deployment could be quite good for engaging all fronts, again depending on your opponent.
Yeah, and your list as well.
And your list, yeah. Because you've got the option to easily get into that quarter, and potentially the opponent might be weaker where there's only a smaller deployment area as well. So it could be consideration, but I wouldn't necessarily. It's not an auto one. It's down to your opponent.
It's down to your opponent and what you put in your list. I mean, if you've gone Tomb Blades and Wraiths, again, it's that there's that option.
Yeah.
And it's something that your opponent can't stop you scoring.
No. Yeah.
I mean, unless they've got 100 sort of. Nurglings fill up the whole quarter, and you can't get into them unless you're charging them and wiping them. Then there's no way they can stop you scoring engage.
No, this is it. I mean, it's just a case of looking at each category, like the.
And that's probably my other consideration when choosing secondaries.
Yeah.
What can I score that my opponent necessarily can't interfere with, because they're the better ones. If you're taking a secondary that your opponent can interfere with, then you're.
Yep. So look at each category, like the No Mercy or the Battlefield Supremacy one, and pick the best one out of your small selection, which we're going to talk about more in a future video, about having a small selection of secondaries to choose from for each game, each mission, each opponent.
Yeah.
And we are going to look at secondary objectives in the next video, so stay tuned for that. We look forward to seeing you there.